Insight 168. This is the last insight on chapter 6. Those who are honest with themselves might admit to themselves that they find the same gender attractive. This admission might falsely make them believe that they are homosexual or lesbian. Many people find the same sex as attractive. However, they rarely admit it to themselves, nor do they allow themselves to focus on it much, because they feel uncomfortable because of societal standards. Some falsely believe that if one finds the same sex as attractive, then one is or might be homosexual or lesbian. However, just as a person finds a tiger attractive simply because of the awesomeness of this creature, likewise it is natural for individuals to find other persons as attractive because of their particular features. This does not mean that they are homosexuals or lesbians. With much focus on any matter, such as a tiger, a tree, the sky, the moon, a butterfly, or on the same sex, the mind finds its interest in it. The mind will want to interact with the object of focus. You must learn the way the mind works in order to not fall under its disadvantages. Its disadvantages. Oh, sorry, yes. I'll read this again. You must learn the way the mind works in order to not fall under its disadvantageous qualities. There are many persons who think imprecisely. A common counter-argument by others is that one does not want to have sex with a tree. As in you see a tree beautiful, but you don't want to have sex with it. My answer is that many people have sex with soft materials. Why? The soft material meets the criteria to pleasure oneself with. A tree is not soft. People do not think of petting a porcupine on the back because the needles are not helpful to the stroking action, similar to how a tree is not helpful for the genitals to be rubbed against. People love to innocently pet cats and dogs because of their fur. People love to innocently touch the skin of babies and cuddle because they are soft. Very good. So, now a lot of women are focused from childhood. They are actually taught to focus on fashion. And their mothers often supply nail polish to them, to the little girls. They encourage the little girl with all kinds of various dresses and acting and ways of interacting, talking and behaving. Very girly, as they say, very girly way of being. Anyway, so they study fashion. They get magazines and look at fashions, and they become aware of slowly they learn about what is beautiful, what is beauty in a female, right? They focus on that a lot. I mean, think about a child who's how old? Let's say 2.5, 3 years old, right? They start from 3 years old learning about this stuff. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, So let's say the person is 20 years old, right? At the age of 20, 17 years of it, this person, the girl, has focused on fashion. 17 years. You only go to university for 4 years to get a degree of some sort. 17 years, the person has studied about fashion, has looked into fashion, is influenced by fashion. So it has powerfully affected the mind of the girl from childhood, 3 years old, looking at fashion. She has learned to understand what the concept of beauty is in that particular culture that she's grown up and has learned from these magazines what is fashion for women looking facially like beautiful, clothing and behavior-wise, dance-wise, so many things, all these things put together. So she learns to recognize beauty in women. She's a master at it. Now, so when she goes out into the world, she doesn't stop looking there. She looks at different females, what she's wearing and how her outfit is, how her outfit looks, how her outfit fits on her body, That also works also as well. How does the outfit fit on the body? So she becomes body conscious of other females, both facially. She looks to see what females are wearing, what eye mascara, how do they hold their hair. You know, it's the stuff they do their hair. So much stuff, information about how to do the hair, endless, right? Makeup and all this stuff. So she has learned to recognize beauty in a female and can say, "Oh, I find her attractive. I find her attractive." She recognizes that. That's what is recognizing beauty is. To say, "That's beautiful. That's beautiful." Okay, good. So what happens to a lot of females is that, as you know, they have learned to find other females attractive, and so they might mistakenly feel that they want to interact with the female sexually. Why? As we said before, when you focus on an object long enough, you'll find features about this object that is attractive. Features that the mind gets busy with, and any features has the capability of engaging your mind, and any feature can be looked on as attractive. What does attractive mean? Attractive, to attract, to get your mind busy with, to pull you in. Attract, like you have like a call it a magnet. Attract, right? So the same thing, when the mind gets busy with it, it is attracted. Oh, look at this, look at that, look at that, look at that. Right, exactly. As we said, whatever you focus on long enough, you'll be attracted to. Because you'll be focusing on the features, and you'll be attracted, and then you'll want to interact with it. Just naturally, that's what happens. You see the colored clouds. You see the colored clouds. You want to fly through it. Man has wanted to fly for such a long time. It is not natural for man to fly. It is not natural for man to fly. But why has man had this dream for such a long time? To want to fly, I want to fly, I want to fly. Why? It's because the man has been seeing these birds fly. And he goes, man, do I want to fly like that bird? Why would a man want to be like a bird? Really, honestly. Even the planes themselves is not good enough. Man really wants to fly on his own wings. That's what everybody really wants. Most people want when they want to fly. They want to go. If they had the wings, if they made them, people would fly. Right? Why? It's not natural for man to fly. So why does man want to fly? Because he sees the bird and sees that the bird can fly, and he wonders about the qualities of that. What features does that have? What are the benefits of that? What are the features, right? Remember when you open the window to a car as you're driving, you put your hand out and the wind blows. Oh, you like that. Or when you're driving down with a bicycle, the wind blows through your hair. You feel like you like that. That's one of the features. So if you're riding through the wind and flapping, you're gonna feel the wind. That's one of the features you want to experience. Wow. You want to experience freedom, for you not to be on the ground, but free. You know, to move all your body parts without any any constraints on the freedom. Freedom on the floor. You want to be light. You want to go up, right? You want to go through the clouds. You want to feel how it feels to go through the clouds. When you actually burst through the cloud, how does that feel on your skin? You want to go close to the sun. You want to feel the heat. You want to do maneuvers. You want to, right? That's right. These are not natural for man. But why does man want to engage in these activities? Why is man so attracted to want to be like a bird? So much so that it developed eventually to fly by plane. I designed the plane. because it saw, and got attracted to it, and wanted to actually be it, interact with it, and be it. So the same thing is true with. So mind has to understand this quality of the mind and not fall prey to it. You have to understand how your mind works and understand this, and don't fall prey to it. Means don't allow it to rule you, but you understand the qualities of it. Many people at work, co-workers, fall in love. They're married. They have two separate partners, and they are together. Why? Because they're spending a lot of time together at work. So let's say they're spending 8 hours or more at work. They see each other. They see each other constantly. So see, and then develop an attraction, and then want to interact. That's basically it. Very simple. So. Once you understand that in your mind, then you can control it and be aware of it and not fall under its spell. Oh, I fell out of love with you. I'm falling in love with the person at work. No, you spend a lot of time at work. Your focus is on her, and you develop an attraction for her because of this amount of time that you're spending there. Jeez. For an impression to remain on the mind, it needs to, for example, it's a time. Right? And also depth of focus. Time and also depth of focus. Focus. Time and focus. Time and focus. There's a lot of time there. There's a lot of opportunity to be attracted. To see, for an impression to be made on the mind. Okay, so... okay. Now I'll say something about the explanation under 168. So we talked about women, how a lot of women find other women attractive because they've learned to do so. And they might mistakenly believe that they're lesbian because, that is to say, they want to interact sexually. Some of them want to interact sexually with other females because they say, why am I so powerfully attracted to this female? Because you've been taught that from 3 years old, 17 years of it focusing on this stuff. That's why. You've developed an attraction for it, and after a while you want to interact with it. Get in touch with it. It's like seeing a hamburger, seeing it, let's say a fruit, seeing it, and then not want to have it? No, come on. It's like seeing it, being told about this vacation spot over and over again for 17 years, and never want to go there? No, if you had the chance to go there, you'd go there. Say, I want to go there. I want to experience this vacation spot that I've been hearing for 17 years. Glorified on every page. Wow, this vacation spot, the dream of dreams. So for many females, that's just because of their focus, it's become natural. And so many mistake themselves as being lesbians. For men, a lot of men do not allow themselves to even think the thought that another man is beautiful or attractive, pleasant looking, whatever. I've noticed that in myself. When I've grown up, if the thought even occurred to me, I would not allow myself to even think that way. Because society shuns that, says no to that. A lot of societies say no, and so we disallow ourselves to even think it. Many men. Now, those who are very honest among the men will admit to themselves that, okay, I find that guy to be very attractive. Attractive, yes, okay. I find him to be beautiful. This, again, might mistake, he might, because of this, misunderstand and say, oh, then I must be homosexual. Or I might have some homosexual tendencies. No, you're just recognizing that this person is a beautiful person. Nothing wrong about that. It's like seeing the tiger, right? You see a tiger. You take a picture of a tiger, a male tiger, right? Show it to any male and ask him, do you find this creature beautiful, awesome, You know, how would you describe it? Would you say awesome? Would you say beautiful? Yeah, he would say beautiful, no problem. He wouldn't bat an eye. He wouldn't make any hesitation about it. He would say, yeah, this is a beautiful, awesome creature. Yeah. Now you tell him this is a male tiger. Do you think that's going to change his mind? No, it's a beautiful, awesome creature. Right. But now we talk, you show him a picture of a man, he'll have difficulty, most men will have difficulty saying, yes, he's a beautiful, awesome creature. You see the problem? The problem is not in the observation. The problem is society labels people as, oh, you know, has this belief as homosexual, or has society believes, has this mistaken belief that if you find somebody attractive, then that means that you are a homosexual or a heterosexual, you know, based on who you're attracted to, who you find attractive. Because they consider this to be a very natural thing, an instinctive thing. They think that man is supposed to find women attractive, and that women are supposed to find men attractive. They don't realize that man can find woman attractive and man attractive, and everything, all the animals attractive, and the plants attractive, all of the universe attractive. That's what the reality of it is. And the woman can find all men and all women and all animals, and whether male or female, and also all plants and all the universe is attractive. So the mistake is with society, the mistake is with what society teaches, the concepts that people have. It's similar to breastfeeding. A lot of people think, oh, breastfeeding is very natural. It's completely natural, so natural that once the kid is born, you put it to your breast and you breastfeed, no problem. You know, no, it's not like that. Yeah, breastfeeding is natural, but you know, it's not as easy as you think. There's a lot of things that go wrong with it, and so you need to have somebody actually teach you how to go about doing it. Same with giving birth. You might think it's natural. Yes, it is. But also there's a lot of things that could go wrong with it, too. Oh, yeah, so the counter-argument that people say often is, well, you know, I don't want to have sex with a tree, even though I find the tree is attractive, very beautiful. Yeah, you can't have sex with a tree. You can't have any kind of sexual interaction with it. Generally speaking, a lot of people will not have a good time doing that because the surface is rough. That's all, you know. So why is it that so many people have pleasure with some kind of soft material? What's that? Do people find soft blankets to be very attractive? Are men and women sexually attracted to soft blankets? No. No, they're not attracted sexually to soft blankets. There could be some people like that. I'm just saying that it's a soft material. A soft material is enough to be feeling good against your own skin. You know, it's very simple. You know. Small example, you've seen dogs hump human beings, meaning humping their legs, that is, you know. Dog jumps on a human being, starts to masturbate on a human being, his leg. Does that mean that the dog is actually a man? So let's say the dog humps the leg of a man. Does that mean that this male dog is a homosexual man, really? No. It doesn't. The sexuality does not define the person, or the sexual feelings does not define the person. No. So, if somebody were to have sex with a blanket, does that mean that the person is not a person? The person's a blanket. See how strange it is? It doesn't make sense. Okay. So this is about having to understand what is going on. Anybody who's honest with themselves man or female can readily admit, okay, I find that person attractive. Now, based on this, they're starting to make calculations in their head. Oh, maybe I'm homosexual. That's what's going on. And in today's society in the West, especially in the Western countries, there's a lot of people, because the governments, some Western governments have admitted that there is such a thing as homosexual and lesbian. Many and the various sexual presentations are quite rampant online. So therefore, a lot of kids are exposed to this stuff. Kids and adults are exposed to this stuff. And because they think there is actually the category of homosexual and lesbian, they start to wonder if they are that type of category. Especially since in many Western countries, this the homosexual and lesbian is considered valid, right? So, because of this, um, many people, both men and women, are wondering, oh, I wonder what I am. Am I bisexual, homosexual, this, that, or whatever, so many categories. And so they start to test themselves. They have these theories built into their own head. They say, well, if I'm homosexual, then I must find if I'm attracted to men, because I feel like I'm attracted to men. He starts looking at men to see if he finds them attractive. Of course, you will find some people attractive, man or female. If you take the time to be honestly looking into it, you find many attractive. And then they wonder if they should test themselves by watching various sexual presentations that are homosexual in nature. And then you can see some of the responses online. What happens when they ask questions is like this. Well, I didn't have any feelings at first when I watched them. It was difficult, but I kept watching and watching. Eventually, I started developing an attraction to them. And then, oh my God, I think I had some feeling. And the more I watched, the more I'm feeling that I should have something like that. You could see the thinking process actually progressing from attraction to wanting to actually have an actual experience like that. The attraction progressing, developing, becoming more attracted, and wanting to actually have an experience like that, and wondering about their sexuality, not realizing that it's their mind at play, and whatever you focus on, you will be attracted to, and develop an attachment for, and therefore you want to interact with it eventually. Okay, I'm gonna read let's see, a little bit under the explanation. Men generally do not look too much in the mirror because they become self-conscious of the fact that generally, according to men are not supposed to be concerned about image and beauty. So this is very true. Men in the presence of others, they are likely to spend a few seconds at most looking at themselves in the mirror. The little time spent in front of the mirror makes men less conscious of their male beauty. This is true unless they are strikingly beautiful. Yeah, you see a lot of men who are call themselves homosexual, and you see them to be strikingly beautiful. Well, this is one of the reasons is because they're very strikingly beautiful. So when they see themselves in the mirror, it's so strikingly beautiful that they go, "Oh, this is very beautiful." They recognize that beauty within themselves. And so this starts the chain of recognizing beauty in other men, because they've started with themselves in the mirror. They could do it with others too, recognize it with others. And from there, they start to question their own sexuality. With attention paid to either gender, the tendency to want to interact further becomes more prominent. For a person who is not aware of the way their mind works, they might mistakenly categorize themselves as a homosexual or lesbian. They might not be aware that the tendency to want to interact with an object or a person grows with increase of attention on the features of the object or person. In addition, it depends on allowing themselves to think of interacting sexually with other persons. Of course, this is true for heterosexuals as well. Attraction rules work the same whether we are talking about attraction to opposite gender, to the same gender, to objects, or to anything. All right, good. We're on chapter number 7, called Awareness of a Range of Perspectives. We're on insight 169. Some appropriate female behavior is invented by society, creating a vast contrast between female sexuality and what is considered appropriate female behavior. By considering some of the invented female societal standards not to be a true representation of what some women think and feel, female sexuality loses that part of its potency that was based on the dramatic differences between sexuality and appropriate societal standards. So basically, various societies have adopted, have planned, have organized a set of standards for female behavior. Kind of like ladylike, she's a lady, this and that, so many things like that. And then this is a dramatic contrast. This female behavior and the mannerisms and all this stuff goes in, by regular standards, goes strongly against the sexual nature of a woman. And so therefore the two are so opposite thinking and normal way of thinking, in a sort of a sense, so that this is a point of attraction for many males, and so therefore to defeat that, you need to see that these societal behaviors are not natural to a female, but rather are made to be. This is an artificial created reality, and once you realize that, then there is no contrast against this. There is no contrast against this, because the contrast needs to exist for this dramatic impact to be made on the mind. So that's the way that the truth that I'm speaking of here. Okay, so I'm going to read a little bit about the explanation here. Women are often raised with ideas of virtue and appropriate behavior in social settings. These set of instructions are exceedingly elaborate to such a degree that both men and women develop an unnatural view of what female behavior should be like. Of course, many mistakenly see these made-up behaviors of society as natural. There is a dramatic contrast between expectations that are set up for women and the sexual feelings a woman might feel. So because of the contrast, this attracts the mind. The moment one dismisses the supposed appropriate behavior as fake, meaning made up, artificial, and not natural, one has annihilated the contrast existing between sexual behavior and appropriate behavior. Therefore, the sexual behavior loses its grip on the mind. By this method, one can ease one's thinking of what being a female is about, and one can more easily look at her as a simple human being, like any other human being. Okay. Insight 170. Contemplation on oneself in relation to all of creation and its various situations is the first step. One ought to know and identify, to the best of his or her ability and awareness, of the whole and the part and the various interactions between them. Thereby one gains a more accurate, proper, and vivid understanding of one's situation within life. Any knowledge amassed through study of this text or other truthful books can be applied to one's contemplation, ever more solidifying one's proper perspective of everything, which enables one to know more clearly what the beneficial and proper action to take is. Let's say you want to make a decision. You're sitting in your living room and you want to get a juice of some sorts from your fridge. Now, it seems like a simple enough decision. You gotta make the juice, but actually you have to consider various things, such as who you are, what you are. You have to be aware of that to a degree. You have to be aware of where you are. This is your own house. Where you are in your own house, your living room. What what are you feeling? Are you feeling thirst? What would you like to drink? Orange juice. Okay. Do we have any orange juice? I believe we do. So I'm gonna get it from the fridge, right? Um, and what's between you and the fridge? There are furniture. You don't want to walk into the furniture. Very good. And where the kitchen is. And so a lot of things have to be taken into consideration for the simple decision of going to get the juice. But because you're so familiar with your own house and the furniture arrangement, you know walk around it and get it. But nonetheless, you have to actually do walk around your furniture. You don't walk through your furniture. And you don't walk through walls. So the same way, in actual life, it's a big life. Now it's no longer your living room floor, but it's all of life. And to as much as you can get an idea of how and what's going on. What are the pieces of life? What are the ingredients? We have trees, dogs, and other animals, birds, plants, bacteria. Um, uh, what else? You got machinery, so it reminds you of metal, and all kinds of metal and chemical elements, and you got atoms and so many things. Different personalities. Some are greedy, some are not. Some are very giving, philanthropic kind of people. Some are gardeners, lawyers, mothers, kids. They have different ambitions, and different interactions among these people and the animals, and what's going on with the larger picture. The largest you can get an idea of. You're on Earth. This Earth is hurling through space at enormous speeds, twirling around the sun, and the sun is also going around the galaxy, and the galaxy is so big, unbelievably big. Try to get a measurement of that in your head. There's enormous amount of galaxy, and so try to look at a scientific program. Look under my website. In my website, you'll see a program on YouTube about perspectives. I put that video there for you to see and get an idea of what we know about the universe from the grand to the small. So you have to get this in your mind to get as vivid as a picture as possible for it to become real to you, so that you become aware of where you are, what is happening here on Earth, and also the universe, and as best as you can. Because when you understand the whole and the parts of the picture, then you can understand, hey, what is my situation? Then then the decision to act appropriately, the right decision, comes to your mind. It becomes clear what to do, what not to do, or what to think about, or what not to think about. For example, this is an example of how the larger picture does really matter. You're sitting in your living room floor, and suddenly you hear a gunshot, what sounds like a gunshot outside your apartment, and you wonder, oh, what's going on? Now suddenly your whole perspective has shifted, and now you're wondering what's going on. No longer thinking about orange juice or heat, is it hot or cold, or hunger or thirst? Nothing. What's on the television? Nothing. And what book to read? No. You're just thinking, was this a gunshot? Am I in danger? Are my neighbors in danger? What the heck's going on? So the larger picture, meaning what's happening outside your immediate the room that you're in, really does matter and could affect you. So become aware of the larger picture and the smallest picture. The largest and the smallest picture look into scientific information, learn about the world that you're in, because this helps you become aware of the reality that you're in, the situation that you're in, which enables one to know more clearly what the beneficial and proper action to take is. Insight 171. Next, one must hence seek to one's health of body. Health of mind and the health of body are interconnected. In addition, the body is necessary to be in good physical health in order that we can accomplish our tasks by means of it. Therefore, proper moderate nutrition and proper moderate exercise are essential, along with proper understanding of the healthy benefits of herbs and natural means of healing. Cleanliness of the body, inside and out, is also essential. So, let's say you've figured out an understanding of the world and the parts, and had the interrelation of the parts to a degree, and you've thought of an action to take. You've made a decision and thought about an action to take, but you cannot take an action and sustain it for long if your body is out of shape, if you don't have proper nutrition. You can't even function without breathing properly, eating properly, sleeping properly, all these things, maintaining your body to have strength and stretching ability and all these things, so that you can accomplish your task of what you want to do. So that's why your health of your body is very important. You have to see to it to maintain it through exercise. Everything in a moderate way. Why moderate? Because if you do something too much, you're able to easily hurt yourself, and then like through exercise, through eating too much, through sleeping too much, all these things it has a negative effect on the body and the mind. Also note that in order for your mind to function properly, because the mind and the body are connected, it's important for your mind not to be getting signals, your brain, and which is attached, has an influence on your mind, not to get signals of distress from your body. It is highly distracting. So to minimize the distractions that your body will give to your mind and your brain, what you do is you keep your body in very good physical health, maintaining it. Therefore, there is little or no distress signals from the body sent to the mind, distracting it. So it'll be the reverse. Everything will be just fine, so that your mind is free to think and your body is free to act.